Good afternoon and welcome to Real Chicks Rock Presents Real Discussions. I am your host, Michelle Dawsberg, and as always, I'm super excited to be here with you today. It is a beautiful day in the neighborhood here in Atlanta. We've had 70-degree weather this past week and it's been gorgeous. People are out letting the sun kiss their face, getting their vitamin D. We are just so pleased with the weather here. Our hearts are going out and our prayers are going out to people in the Ukraine. It's just been an interesting turn of events since the war has started, just the attacks. I've seen some casualties in reading the news this morning, so it's just been a very interesting and trying time for us holistically, right? Gas prices are going up. We're starting to feel the impact of everything that's going on all the way around the world. But it is what it is. Unfortunately, we're just going to keep praying and keep doing what we're doing. Like I said, here in Atlanta, it's a beautiful day. And I just want to thank all of the people, all the new listeners that are checking us out today. Let me just give you a little background about what Real Chicks Rock is all about. It's all about creatively collaborating and connecting to raise awareness regarding the issues that impact us women. That's right. And we do it by way of community service, public speaking, mentoring, workshops, and the arts. This has been our 6th season in having these conversations with interesting people that I think that have done some legendary work. People that have been maybe focused on the community, just about change, just giving us tools and strategies to help us do things differently as a community. And today is no different. Today is more on the entertainment side. You're going to learn a little bit more about me, but it's really all about my guest today. Today's topic is We Are Hip Hop, and my guest today is Mr. Biggs of the Soul Sonic Force. Mr. Biggs!
Peace. How you doing? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
That intro was kind of funky, man. I like that.
You're looking good, my friend. You're looking good. I want to get right into it. Tell the people, where you from? Where you from? Born and raised?
Born and raised, Boogie Down Bronx.
Mm-hmm.
Born and raised. I was actually, my first couple of years, I was living on Gun Hill Road. And but that's from birth. And then I moved to Bronx River in 1970.
Okay. And those are the years I want to kind of focus on. Yeah, those are the years I want to focus on. So tell me, what was it like living in Bronx River, 1970 and then some? What was it like, Biggs? Tell us.
It was had a lot of change of events, you know, a lot of ups, a lot of downs. You know, a lot of gang activities.
Mm-hmm.
One thing about the gang, like before we was Black Spades, it was a group called Power. And but one thing we did in Bronx River was we kept the other gangs outside of Bronx River. Like we would never allow nothing, negativity as far as rumbles and things take place on Bronx River. Mm-hmm. You know, any beef that had to be settled or whatever, we always took it to their project.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we always protect our project. Like we let no one in our project.
Heard that.
Yeah.
I heard that. And I think we felt that, Biggs. I think we felt that. For those that don't know, I was born and raised in Bronx River Projects myself. Was there my whole life, at least the first 18 years of my life. And so I remember the 70s, right? It was kind of dope for us, right? The music was good. You know, R&B music was good. We was moving away more from the Motown sound. It was a little bit more funky. Kids was out. We was running around playing tag, hot peas and butter. You know what I mean? Handball on the side of the building. It was just like, I guess as a young girl in the projects, I didn't feel that heat that you're talking about with the gangs. I appreciate you protecting us in that sense.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that. And not only that, like, the parents, like, it was just a big village. Like, everyone, you know, you had someone to go to, like, to help you out in every situation that might occur. Like, it was just a big village. Mm-hmm. I didn't play no games.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No games. So
the music was everything.
Yeah.
You know, that 70s sounds, and then from the 70s right into hip hop.
Yeah.
You know, it was amazing.
Yeah. So, Biggs, tell us a little bit about some of the music you was checking out at that time while you was protecting the block, being a big brother to your siblings, and just friends to us. What was some of the music that you was checking out during that time?
Well, back then I was a big George Clinton Parliament fan, James Brown, um, a little bit of Zap, all that Motown sound. But my thing was really James Brown and George Clinton, a straight funk. You know, that was the sound. I mean, we even had that was our calling, James Brown Sex Machine. I mean, it was just soul power, James Brown soul power. You know, that was our call. Like we say soul power, we say spade power, soul power, power to the people, power to the spade. It was just that whole movement was you know, made me what I am today. Like it opened up my eyes to everything. That era was just special.
Yeah, it was dope. So Biggs, let me kind of set the stage for those that don't know, because we take advantage of the fact that we grew up where we grew up at, right? You know, the birth of hip hop and everything that was going on at that time. Unfortunately, a lot of people didn't have a community center, right? Their projects look different than ours. You know, everybody in New York, the projects kind of look the same. But I just kind of want to set it up a little different, you know, so people can get a feel of the energy and the vibe that time, you know, during that time. So we're young kids, you know, you're a teenager, you holding it down. And now all of a sudden, there's this sound that's coming out, right? We starting to hear beats, you know, guys is coming out, scratching, not even really scratching yet, but really sampling some music that we knew maybe our parents listened to, maybe it was more of the Caucasian kind of pop music, and now all of a sudden we're hearing it, right? So now it's in the back of our center. Like, you know what I mean? So people are DJing and playing this beat. What did that feel like for you, Biggs? What did you feel like when you first heard your first break beat back then?
It was that was a great question. I don't really know what I felt, because when Bambaataa would play the music, you know, we would, first of all, that whole musical experience, like he would listen to records, and he had this knack to just play the break beat of the record. Like we would go downtown to record stores, and this dude would actually buy a record just because the cover looked different, not even knowing the group, not even hearing nothing from the record, you know, and then he'll take it home and play it until you heard a break beat.
Yeah.
And he'll just play that beat over and over and over and over. And I'm looking at him like, yo, why you just playing that? So you used to listen, you know, bro, you used to listening to the whole record.
Right.
He would make that break beat a whole record. And it was just amazing, you know, it was just amazing. And then everybody gravitated to like the break beat, and then it just brought out a different, you know, what we call B-boy, a B-girl, break dancing, and it just took people somewhere else.
Yeah.
And a lot of DJs wasn't doing that at the time. Right. Like, you know, everybody credit Kool Herc, you know, salute to Kool Herc.
Right.
But I would never, ever consider him the godfather of hip hop, because I always said Bambaataa is the godfather, but, you know, Herc would play the whole record. Like, you know, I'm keeping 100. Like, you would go to a Herc party and then go to a Bambaataa party. It was like, her party was truly boring after hearing a band party, you know. And then everybody said it started in 73 at this block party. He's supposed to be thrown across the Cedric Avenue in the Bronx. But we was doing block parties in Bronx River forever.
Come on.
What makes that the start of hip hop?
Yeah.
You know, it's, and up to today, people still go back and forth where the hip hop started. Did it start in Bronx River? Did it start at Cedric Avenue?
Yeah.
You know, I would always say it started in Bronx River. Like, I can't. Even the people from Bronx River, I don't know if you remember James Griffin used to run the center.
Yeah.
And he was a big Cool Herc fan. Like, he ran with Cool Herc. Tell you, like, Herc wasn't playing this stuff, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And my thing was, some of his parties, you couldn't wear sneakers. And if you can't wear sneakers, then that wasn't hip hop. We was just grinding sneakers. He catered to the more, them guys was more like, you know, they wore the Monk necks.
Yeah.
They wore the gold medallions. And they were a little older than us.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, he had some were putting our age, but most of his crowd was older than us. So they wasn't getting on the ground and getting dirty.
Yeah.
And they were.
Yeah.
You know, that's just my.
I hear you. Yeah, you're right, Biggs, in the sense, like, I mean, I was a pro-Keds girl before I even did this whole Converse thing, but it was pro-Keds what was on our feet growing up, because that's what we could afford. Go down, you know, Westchester Avenue, go get a pack, you know, get a pair of sneakers down there and keep it pushing. But yeah, the energy on the block, especially in the summertime, all it took was a nice day, like nice weather. And you're right, Bam would be playing, and he would run these extension cords, right, Ellis, from his apartment all the way to the back of the center where we used to play checkers and chess, like in that space, and then take it to the back of the center to the stage at night.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Am I right?
And it was funny because he was just, like, we literally be sitting down in the circle.
Yeah.
You could describe with the circle. You just said when we played the
Right.
chess.
Yeah, the circle.
And then you're like, yo, I'm gonna play some music.
Yeah.
You know, the telephone, the payphone.
Yeah.
Yo, we would literally make 2-3 calls, and next thing you know, it was like 100 people in the project.
Yeah.
Ready for the music, ready for the party.
Yeah.
Yo, just think about that. That like was amazing. Like, this dude would literally make 2-3 phone calls, and next thing you know, you got 200-300 people. Then we take it from there, put it in the back of the center, and it was just great time. Like, those days, like, never be duplicated.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you.
We never really kept it, you know, that stuff on tape, and you know, because that whole moment, that whole time, is just lost. Like, only in the movie, you know, those who were there.
Yeah, yeah. And that's why Biggs, this conversation with you today is important, because you were one of the architects. You know, you were there. You could share your story and tell us how it was, and it's documented. So I want to say thank you for taking the time to talk with me today. I want to ask you this, Biggs. How did you guys form Soul Sonic? How did that come about?
Well, first, when we started, it was just 3 of us. It was Van with the DJ, brother named Cowboy, not Cowboy is down with Flash. His name was Cowboy. He lived in Bronx River also. And then with myself, Cowboy, and Pepsi. Van we doing a DJ. He was playing music behind, remember Corvettes?
Yes.
Going back now. He was playing a building behind Corvettes in the basement. He was doing a party for summer. And he got really tired. So he's like, yo, I need another DJ. That's when he got Zombo. Jonathan. He's from Bronx River too, one of the original Zulu Nation breakdancers. And then I was the youngest of the other 2 MCs. Pepsi went away for school, and the Cowboy became Muslim. And so it was just me. And then Charlie Rock came on, then Powwow. And then, make a long story short, it was about 10 of us.
Okay.
You know, and we had to come up with a name. And we was all into this funky, soul sonic, just force. Like we just wanted something powerful, like a soul sonic boom. You know, we was always into like outer space type of stuff, and that's the way the name came. It was the force, soul sonic force. It was like the force, the power, music, and then within the soul sonic force, there was another group called Cosmic Force. It was like, you know, so Cosmic Force went their way, and then Soul Sonic Force, Charlie Rock went to the military, and then they left me, Powwow, brother named Ice, you know, Ice passed away.
Yeah, he's from 1460, yeah.
He was his original Soul Sonic Force, and then he started working, started making moves. So it was just me and Powwow. Then we got Glow. You know, and then we started from there. You know, next thing you know, we in the studio. Actually, we did our first record was with called Zulu Nation Throwdown on Paul Whitney's label. It was Cosmic Force on one side, we was on the other side, and we were supposed to join. We were supposed to be part of Sugar Hill. That didn't work out. I'm glad it didn't.
Okay.
No, that was a little bit of You know what they, you know, back then what they did to artists, like the way they robbed us was crazy.
Yeah.
And it's so sad. Like when you think about it, like a lot of those guys from my era have nothing, like nothing. It's sad. It's really sad. We was fortunate. We signed with Tommy Boy, and although we didn't get all we were supposed to get, we got. We owned our publishing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We never signed our publishing away.
That's good.
So we've been blessed. Like we've been almost around the world, you know, and just to see where it was and what it is now, you know, it's a blessing because when we would tour back then, there was no other rap groups. It was us, Furious Five, Sugar Hill Gang. Those are like the major groups. Like we toured the world, those three groups. But when we toured, there wasn't no whole other rap groups. Like we was going up against, like I said, Gap Band. We was going up against George Clinton. We was going up against. We went up against Prince.
Wow.
It was crazy. Like we going up against these major bands.
Right.
We up there with turntables and a beatbox. Beatbox with people back then couldn't understand. Like we set it off. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't for Planet Rock. John Roby, he's the one that played the beatbox. 808. Music today, like you would real like we put drummers out of business. You know, and that kind of like messed with me for years because I was a big drummer fan. Like I was a big fan of bands.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I knew with this technology, a lot of people was gonna lose jobs. Like a lot of drummers was gonna be put out of business. You know, we created that whole Miami bass sound. That's old Bronx sound, like you know. You know, everything, that whole 808, all those hard drums is from Soul Sonic Force. You know, like I said, we toured the world. We took hip hop. We the one that took hip hop overseas.
Yeah.
Like they know nothing about hip hop overseas. You might have a few kids here and there. And when we first went overseas, we first went to Italy and Germany. You literally had people following us. They thought we was the new Black Panther movement because we had all these kids. When Planet Rock came on, they would just go crazy. So they thought we were sending a message in our music.
Oh my gosh.
We playing our music backwards, seeing if we telling the kids to do crazy things.
Wow. Wow. Crazy. That's heavy. That's heavy. That's heavy. That's heavy.
And like the people that would take us around, He was like, yo, did you guys do anything? Like, what are you talking about? He said, you guys have been followed. CIA, FBI is following you.
Wow.
And I'm like, what do you mean? And then we found out later, excuse me, and they really thought between the Society Force, our following, and then the Zulu Nation was an army.
Right.
They thought we was the new Black Panther Party. So it was crazy, man. We would have our beepers go off and insist it would be the FBI on everybody's beeper.
Wow.
Or call was FBI.
Wow.
We thought we was this new Black youth moment that had to be watched. You know, all through the music, like it was crazy. It was crazy times. Like a lot of people don't know these things.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, it was wild. Like you really had to watch our backs. Like we didn't know who was who.
Right, right. So you remember what year this was? Like when did that start to happen?
Right after Planet Rock, like 82.
82.
The perfect beat, and
Yeah.
we just had huge following that people, the powers to be, didn't understand. They just know that when our music came on, the youth would act a certain
way. Yeah. Were you guys hitting big venues in Europe when you went to Germany and Italy? Were they big venues or clubs? Like, how was that?
They were big venues.
Wow.
Yeah, they were. By that time, it was out there.
Mm-hmm.
We even did a show in London, and it was funny because after the show, I see this big, tall, skinny white boy with red hair. He's running to me, and I'm like, well, I don't know whether to snuff this kid. I don't know who he is. And then he wanted to do the chest bump, you know.
Uh-huh.
And find out it was Prince Harry. I don't know Prince Harry.
Man. And he's coming for you.
He started giving us pounds and shaking our hands. And,
right.
And some lady was like, oh my God, you guys touch royalty.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, he touched royalty.
He touched royalty. He almost got snuffed out here too, coming at me that kind of way.
But yeah, he was quite interesting, man. That guy was quite interesting. Yeah, it was real.
So did he hang around and ask questions or just kind of catch a vibe with you guys?
He wanted to play us in basketball. And,
wow.
And then we'll get 5 and you get 5 and we'll kick your bloody ass. I said, yo, you must be talking about polo or something. You ain't gonna do us in no basketball, but you go ahead with that, man. And, we were supposed to hook up that night. Just told him, enough is enough. Go to the kingdom, like, leave them Bronx guys alone.
So Biggs, how long did you guys tour? Was it kind of like through the early 80s you guys were touring Europe, or how long did that last for you?
We toured up until about 82, and then Perfect Beat dropped. We toured more, the Renegades. We probably stopped touring, I want to say like 86.
Mm-hmm.
You know, then we would do spot gigs, like we'll do shows here and there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of shows all over the place. But like major tours, might have, you know, because, yeah, about 86. We did a couple of shows from the Beach Street movies.
Mm-hmm.
Did a lot of touring off of that. And then when we did Radio, I think it was Radio City. We did Radio City, and Bam decided he wanted to break the group up for whatever reason.
Okay.
And then he went his way, and then I said, well, you do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? We gonna still perform. We're supposed to not perform because you don't want to. We still riding off of renegades, and we still hiding in fish grease.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that all about, but we still did our thing.
So Biggs, talk to us a little bit about the energy when you guys were doing the concert. So you got b-boys, like people breakdancing everywhere, popping. Like, what was it like when you guys were doing these tours?
Oh, the energy was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was like, and it was almost sometimes scary because, especially when people will rough the stage and.
Mm-hmm.
You try to get on the stage and people grabbing at you, and you already know, sis, how we came up. Like we not used to that. Like,
right.
People, we ready to get it proper.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And so we had to kind of embrace that. Like, yo, this is part of it.
Yeah.
We just big up our security, But it was crazy. It was crazy. The energy, you can't even describe that. And you literally have to be an artist on that level at that time to even know what that energy is like.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So sad back then. The group, especially with the crazy costumes and everything. People didn't, people never saw nothing like that,
Not in hip hop, not in hip hop. And who came up with the costumes? Whose idea was that to come up with what you guys was wearing?
It was all me and Bam. That was all because we considered, like I said, we was big Parliament fans. Mm-hmm. So we basically wanted to be Parliament of hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, and back then, when we was performing, like I said, we was performing with all these major groups. Back then, you couldn't get on the stage looking like somebody in the audience.
Okay.
The audience, when they came to see you, they wanted to see something bigger than them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if I'm sitting, if I'm on the stage with jeans and Timberlands, and you sitting in the audience with jeans and Timberlands, it's like you at my level. You know what I'm saying? They use a little bit of respect. They think you the same.
Right.
Not saying that we're better than anybody, but back then they wanted you to be better than. I paid my money to see better than me.
Right.
Back then you had to. Back then, no artist, no group, no artist looked like the audience.
Mm.
It was wild. It was and then we had a lot of running with our biggest running was with Cameo.
Really?
Yeah, we was getting ready to perform. We did a sound check, and we had this thing called a vocoder. That's how Bam he played a vocoder, changed his voice. The body people,
Yeah.
We at the top of the line, and so we get ready to perform, and I'm looking like, yo, what the hell's our vocoder? And then comes T, Cameo has it hooked up to their stuff.
What?
So me from the Bronx, I snatched it all out, snatched it up, bring it back. So now we beefing backstage, and then they you guys better enjoy this hip hop stuff, this rap stuff now, because it'll be over in 3 years.
Oh, wow.
And look, all this time, almost 50 years in.
Yeah, it's still here.
It's nothing bigger than hip hop right now.
Nothing bigger than hip hop. So Biggs, tell me, 2 questions. Did you ever meet George Clinton since he was a fan? You met him several, and how did he feel about you guys, kind of imitating?
This dude, George Clinton, is one of the best people in the world.
Nice.
He embraced us. He hung out with us.
Nice.
It was, his energy, even up to today. They did a party for him think it was in Brooklyn this past summer.
Uh-huh.
Because we got this new museum going up. And he was part of the Universal Hip Hop Museum. And it's being built now, 145th Street.
Yes.
And he was, we was giving him a tribute, and he performed and everything. But he's like 80-something, but his energy is still crazy. You know what I'm saying? He's like, but this guy, man, he's amazing.
Yeah. He won't stop. He won't stop. Shouts out to the Universal Hip Hop Museum. They are today's sponsor for the show. I had the honor of speaking with Martha Diaz and Renee Foster. I know they are doing phenomenal work. I cannot wait until that museum is open. It's open in 2024, and I know they're doing some dope things for the culture. So that I truly appreciate. The other question I wanted to ask you, Biggs, was I'm glad that George was good in receiving you guys. I wanted to ask, because you made a comment about hip-hop and just the way it was then. What is your thoughts about hip-hop today?
Well, it's my baby. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I want to love for it.
All right.
I know, like, they got this new thing, I don't know, in the land, well, that's basically that the drill music, the drill music where, these guys is rapping about somebody homie that just got murdered, and they basically saying, it's good your homie got murdered, and that sets off a chain reaction, and they go out and another MC get killed. Like, these young boys is getting killed senseless, and that's not what hip-hop is supposed to be.
Right.
That part of hip-hop, I don't like they, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Like, the thing was, even back then when we would battle, it'd just be battles and that was it. You still my man.
Right.
These kids is talking about people's dead homies. Like, first of all, you gotta respect the dead. Like, really? Regardless on how he died, like, you respect him. When he's dead, it's over. Like, he's at peace, man. Leave him alone. Leave her alone. They at peace. And then you making fun of the person's dead homie. Now his crew is mad. Now they come and shoot. Come on, man. That's not what hip hop's supposed to be. That's not what hip hop's supposed to be. And then the powers don't be because we killing each other and they making money, so they don't care.
Yeah.
But before that, I mean, I didn't care too much for that mumbling rap. Like, have you really couldn't understand?
Right.
I ain't good for that.
Yeah.
But
it's here to stay.
That's my baby.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
People be looking at me like I'm 61 now. I be playing hip hop in my car. They be looking like, yo, this old dude listening to this.
Hip hop will never die. It's always going to be here. It's always. I listen to it too. I wanted to ask you, Biggs. Planet Rock, Searching for the Perfect Beat, all that. You guys, when that comes on, people just lose their mind. It still happens today, right? There was definitely a culture assigned to that music, right? The sneakers, we talked about it. Then we graduated to like shell toes, whatever, right? Straight leg Lee jeans, denim jacket, right? Members only jacket, like Kango hat. Like there was a certain look that went with b-boying, right? As you b-boyed. Now I feel like, and we can see it more now, Biggs, on social media, that whole b-boy culture is really big in like Asia, right? You see a lot of Asian persuaded people, male and female, like doing it, like wearing the windbreaker suits like we used to wear back in the day, spinning on their head, doing the moves, the whole thing. Like, what's your thoughts on that? Like, have we lost it, or are they just kind of preserving it for us?
The culture as we know it,
yeah,
moved on. Like these kids, like hip hop is just a branch of the culture.
Right.
The, these kids today is basically too rich for the culture.
Ah.
These hip hop, as far as just using the rap aspect of it, like these kids is millionaires like out the gate.
Yeah.
You know, they paying the money, so they're not wearing, you know, they're not wearing the Adidas suits and like it's all overseas now. Overseas, they still respect hip hop to the fullest.
Yeah.
The culture, they respect the culture to the fullest. Over here, like you might have a little here, a little there, but these kids today is just different, man. Like it went $300, $400 belts, and you know what I'm saying. My first car was a damn Volvo. These kids are pulling around Lamborghinis and Bentleys, and it's just different. Like they don't care about the culture. They just rep one aspect of the culture, which is the rap. You know, the rap. You know, they don't care about the dancing. They don't care about the graffiti. They don't care about the style as far as dressing. You know, they just want to give all their money to Gucci. And hey, it's just the signs of the times. Times has changed. Man. You gotta go with the times, man, because the culture itself, like you said, it's all overseas. If you want to just that real hip hop culture, like I said, you might find a little piece of it in Florida. You might even find a little piece of it in California. A lot of areas still rep the culture of hip hop. Even some parts of New York.
Okay.
You know, like Lower East Side, it still represents the full culture. That's why this museum is so important.
It's important
to let people know what the culture is, like the culture.
Yeah.
But these kids today, everything is a dollar bill. Like the money that these kids see today. You know what I'm saying? We did one show because we also know my man Mick Benson. He do art of rap, and the art of rap is they book a lot of artists like myself in that era, and they do little like tours all over the United States. And this one show he did, I think it was in Michigan, and he had 50 cents. And I've literally seen him just get this guy a briefcase full of money. I don't know how much was in it on what he's getting per show. And I'm like, yo, this is different. These guys, you know, he was gonna get a promoter wanted Lil Wayne, and the dude was like, the person he was talking to was like, well, he'll do it for you, but it was like $250,000. I'm like, I just looked at the phone like, that's the money these kids are getting today.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
How you doing 2 shows? You already got.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
I mean, I'm glad hip hop made it that far. Like,
word.
You gotta pay these people, man. Like, you gotta pay to see them. You gotta pay.
Yeah.
You know. And this is the thing. We doing this shit for free.
Yeah.
And the money and don't get me wrong, we made money.
Yeah.
Nothing like the shit these kids
Yeah. And I think you made some because of your touring. Like you had a great opportunity to tour the world. You know, you kept your publishing, right? So you own the music and that type of thing. So you guys were smarter than most, because a lot of people just did it for the love and really didn't think that it would be around as long as it was, right? It was like a hobby. They was good. They flowed. But you're absolutely right. Unfortunately, a lot of the cats that we heard of when we first heard about hip hop, they're not around, or they are and they're not anywhere near touching any kind of money. And I gotta say something definitely to the Universal Hip Hop Museum, and also Rock the Bells Radio with LL Cool J. Just really, since he's taken over, you know, it used to be Backspin and now it's Rock the Bells. I see him strategically like putting people on, like Cass is on, and Roxanne Shante, you know, and some people that was like back in the day, like underrated, undercut, but we knew they were fire. And now they have a platform and they're sharing the stories, you know, and they're bridging the gap. You know, that's one thing that's important, Ellis. I mean, Big, the fact that you're out talking and touring, you're bridging the gap, because people need to know. A lot of people know hip hop, but they don't know hip hop. So when you share your story, that gives them the sense of the foundation. And so we want the foundation to be there, you know what I mean? So that they can continue to build on top of it. But yeah, it's definitely, it's a change. It's more money, because the powers that be know that this is a genre that's not going anywhere, right? We had to learn through MTV and through those type of mediums to show us that people that didn't look nothing like us was buying these CDs, was going out, spending the money to the concerts. They was out there, you know what I mean? Because again, still, money wasn't always our friend, right? So we always couldn't roll like the way some other people could roll. But yeah, they was paying the money to see people like yourself performing. So, you know, if they put a big tour together, would you do it? Biggs, would you tour again? A big one.
The last tour we was on was big tour. It was that Art of Rap tour.
Okay.
That was like 16 or something like that.
Okay. 2016?
Yeah, 2016.
That's not bad. Okay.
We still do shows here and there. Like we got shows coming up.
Right.
You know, the virus shut down everything.
Yes.
Like almost,
Yes.
That shut down the game.
Yeah.
So it was like we always do a bunch of shows in the summertime.
Mm-hmm.
Those songs was that done.
Mm.
You know, but I kind of like the state of, you know, where hip hop is, and this is where it's supposed to be.
Okay.
You know, it's on this level now. You know, because a lot of bricks was built, you know, to get it here.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mind, you know, I don't mind taking the licks that we took in order for the game to be where it's at.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
We had no one to tell us about publishing, you know what I'm saying? And we literally had lawyers that was our first lawyer, you know. Everybody say, you know, go black, you know, you want to stay with your brothers, you stay with your sisters. Yeah, our first lawyer, Joe Barnes, he was a black lawyer. This dude ripped us off like crazy.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
It was crazy. You had to get a white lawyer to go at him to straighten
it out.
Back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, to get it right. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
now we have a sister lawyer, Lita Azario is her name, Azario. And she's no joke. You know, she's from out of Washington. And we got with her about maybe 4 years ago. And this lady got us so much money that we didn't know that was out there.
Wow. That's what's up. I said, that's what's up.
Yeah, like Lisa Rosario, like my whole thing is like, I respect women to me, everything I do, I put women in charge. 'Cause I know women get the job done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like people say whatever they want, they get the job done. You know what I'm saying? And with my one thing, like, it's me, but my wife make the calls. You know what I'm saying? Like, she makes the calls. and then my youngest son, my sons. But she's Mr. Big Munch.
I hear you.
Women get the job done.
Yeah.
Like everything I've ventured, when a woman was up front, it just got done.
It just got done. It got handled. I hear you. I hear you. Talk more about the wine. Can we get it? What's the name of the wine? What's going on? Has it been around for a minute?
I'm just doing online, MrBiggsWines.com. I got 5 wines. I got a Moscato. I got it's a sweet, a Brighetto, which is another sweet. All my wine is from Italy. I got a Chardonnay, a Pinot, a Merlot, and all my wine mostly from Piedmont, Italy. And it's really good wine. You know, you can check out my website, MrBiggsWines.com, and it's been doing good. You know.
How did you get into that, Biggs? How did you get into the wine space?
Crazy because I was selling Sonic Force T-shirts over the internet, and my buddy I went to school with, Ray, brother named Ray Ramos. He was in the military when he left school. I graduated before him, and I went to school to play ball. He went to the military. He made a career out of the military. And when he was in the military, he was stationed in Italy. Then from there, he got involved in wines back then. So fast forward, like I said, I was selling T-shirts about 5, 6, 7 years ago. And so he called me, he hit me up on Facebook. Yo, Big, what's up? This is Ray. I know a whole lot of Rays. So when he showed me the picture, I said, yo, what's up? He said, Big, you want to get into the wine game? And people always asking me to invest in this, that, and the other. And I just listened like, yeah. He just kept calling. So I said, yo. So I fly down to Florida to meet with him. And then he took me to meet the winemakers. And then he started throwing some prices around. I said, yeah, I could do that. And then I just took to it. I'm like, yeah, I like this. I like this. And then basically it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Right,
like,
okay.
Just getting in with them, young lady named Daisy and her family, it was like, I was already in. Like, I didn't have to jump a lot of hurdles. Like, I was already in. And but people don't understand, but it's, because a lot of people say, yo, Biggs, I want to get down, I want to get in the wine game. I don't try to be funny. I let them know, like, because I don't want to waste your time, and I don't want you to waste my time. What kind of money you got, because it's money.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
It's a lot of money. I mean, just to get my warehouse, I literally had to pay 7 or 8 months of warehouse space with nothing in it, making no money. Every month I had to pay, it was about $800-900 a month for nothing, like, just to get approved, just for the state to approve me.
Right, okay.
And then they can turn you down. So, you know what I'm saying? That money's just wasted. They send you back a portion for the application fee, but as far as the rent, that money's gone. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta have, and then you gotta buy the juice, you gotta buy the bottles, you gotta buy the corks. You know what I'm saying? You gotta buy the packaging. It's a lot of bread, like, So I'm like, yo, if you got the bread, we can talk. But if you don't got this amount of bread, get your bread up, and then we can talk. I'm not gonna waste my, because it's basically a waste of time.
Right.
Let's get it out front. Can you afford it? You know what I'm saying? If you can't afford it, then come back to me. I'll throw a number out to you, and if you can match that number, then we can talk.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know,
Okay. Yeah.
it's a good business. It's a real good business.
That's good to know. That's good to know. So, Biggs, I'm gonna ask you this because at the top of our conversation, we talked about the block, right? We talked about Bronx River, and you know, when we were growing up, it was one way, and in the green room setting, we talked about how different Bronx River houses is now versus when we were growing up in the 70s. There, right? It's totally different. So I want to ask you, Biggs, what could you say to a kid on the block today that would inspire them to or encourage them to get off that block? Is there anything that you could share to the people that could inspire them? Because you made it. I mean, you made it. You got a wine business. You got a beautiful wife. We see, you know, you sitting in a nice space, got some jerseys hanging up behind you. You looking good. You made it off the project block. What could you say to somebody to help them get off?
It's that's a great question. You gotta wanna get off.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta wanna be somewhat successful. You gotta wanna say, all right, this is enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want, and then there's so many opportunities out here today. Like this internet thing, I mean, you can just sit home and be a YouTuber and make a bunch of money. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They got websites that you could just design a t-shirt. You don't have to put no money up. Design t-shirts, and the t-shirt, you'll get a portion of the money as you sell the t-shirts, as the company sell the t-shirts.
Yeah.
You got one called Bonfire. Mm-hmm. You know, you make up the t-shirts and you sell the t-shirts just sitting home. Like you design a t-shirt and you just put them out there. Just open up a website. This internet thing allows people to make so much money now. Like you really don't have to do that. You know, you don't have to but that question is you gotta wanna, it's like anything else. You gotta wanna not do it no more.
I got
like
you.
This is enough.
Got you.
Other than that, there's nothing you can say to somebody that's getting money or think they're getting money. See, I hate to use this N word, but you know, these people out here, you know, they get satisfied with nigga money, and they don't know it's so much more out there. You know what I'm saying? They still standing in the same corner, leaning against the same building, the same block. You know, you gotta leave that fish tank.
Yeah.
There's ocean out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's good.
They don't want to. You gotta leave that fish tank. Get about that tank, man. It's an ocean. It's so much more. Like a lot of kids say, college ain't for them, but today it's a college for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go to college. Like, I'm not saying you know, you get a degree gonna make you any richer, because a lot of people rich don't even have degrees. But just to get out, just to meet other people, you know what I'm saying? It's all about networking, meeting other people. You know, you'd be surprised the little simple thing that somebody would say to you that would send that light off in your head, like, oh, okay, I can do that. You know, it's nothing on the block, like it's nothing in the hood. It's nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I go to Bronx. Like I told you earlier, I went by Bronx River a couple of months ago, and I'm just standing on the outskirts, and I was looking up at the building, and I was like, the buildings. I'm like, how can people not be stressed out?
Yeah.
Living like this, and you want people everywhere around you, like you can't escape.
Yeah.
But you can escape if you want to escape. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Every individual has to want to do it. Like you gotta want more for yourself. You gotta want more for yourself. You gotta want more for your family. You know, you gotta value your life. You gotta value your time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta value your time. You gotta put a value on your time. If your time is just work, standing on this corner, making like, you ain't making no money. I mean, people in the 80s was making money. They ain't making, there's no money out there today. You know, your life is way more valuable than that.
Yeah. Wow.
And people don't put value on their life, and they don't put value on their time. You know, I tell the kids that I coach high school football, and I tell the kids, like, yo, you are valuable. Like, your time, your life, everything is valuable. You know what I'm saying? I tell the kids, like, everything is currency, like the Bitcoin. I said, don't look at your grades as just a grade. Put a value on your grade. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's 70 or 55. You just put $55 into your bank account to get your scholarship.
Yeah.
Where you sitting in that same class and you got 85 out, you got 85. Now turn that into currency. Like, you put $85 into, because everything, you know, we get these kids these scholarships. Nothing no worse than a college want a kid real bad and he don't have the grades. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's like crazy, because, you know what I'm saying, we made you this athlete and all these schools want you, and you sitting in the class failing. Like, put a value on your grades. Like, it's not a 55 no more. It's $55 you put into that bank that's gonna get you into college.
Yeah.
When you sit in that class and you could get an 85 or 90, now you put $90 in, you know, put a value on your grades. Because at the end of the day, it is value, it is money, because you need those grades to get into college.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we losing kids getting full scholarship because you want to mess around in class and you don't put a value on your time. You don't put a value on your grades. You know?
That's
and then it's rough. It's crazy. You know, you got kids, D1 schools wanting your kid that you groomed from the 9th grade. You're like, yeah. Then you go to the board like, oh man, he only got a 72 average, and he got to get a 1200 on SAT or something. No, he's not going to get that. You know, it's crazy.
It's
like,
crazy.
So basically, you got to put a value. Your life got to mean something. Your life got to be more than that corner.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Your life has to be more than that corner.
More than the block. Yeah.
More than the block.
More than the block. That's awesome, Biggs. That's awesome. You're right. You know, as a little girl in the projects, I remember just looking out the window and seeing people walking by, and I said, when I get off this block, I'm not coming back. You know, and I said the very same thing you're saying, that there's a bigger world out here. I gotta see what it is, because a block is conditioned to have you thinking that's all that is to life, is that. And you have to just be like, I know it's gotta be more than what is here. And it's no diss, it's just an individual thing. And you're like, once you get going and you expose yourself to different types of people, that networking you're talking about, you know, and God hears what you're thinking, I'm telling you. And if you say it, you know, it starts to line up. You start meeting different people and doing different things, and your thirst starts to change, and you want to do different things and see different things, and it just, so, you know, I appreciate you, Biggs. I appreciate you because you are an example, right? You know, you came from Bronx River and you doing it. You did it and you still doing it. And I want to salute you. I want to thank you for being the guy that you've been. Yeah, this is it. This is good stuff. How can people find you, Biggs? How can they find you? If they want to reach out or see when you're touring, what's going on?
On my Instagram, you go to Mr. Biggs Wines. So Sonic_Biggs on my Instagram. And so Sonic Biggs on my
Facebook
page. Those are, yes, that's how you can find me.
Find out what's going on. I'm going to order some wine.
MrBiggsWines.com. You know, order a couple of bottles.
I'm going to order a bottle.
I guarantee you I love my wine.
Yeah, the Moscato sounds good.
Yeah, all my wine is really good.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
That's what's up. Thank you, Biggs. I want to thank your family. I know your siblings, so I'm gonna shout them out. I want to thank them. You come from a good family. Growing up, we loved you. All of you guys, all of y'all, was a staple to us.
I guess that's why I respect women so much, because my mom's raised all 8 of us by herself.
Woo!
And she didn't take no short.
Great job.
We wasn't no bummy family.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know it was 8 of us.
Yeah, we didn't know because y'all were clean. Y'all were clean. Looking good. Holding Harrod Avenue down.
Was no joke. She was
Yes. Yes, she did a good job. So shouts out to your entire family, Biggs. Man, all the best to you. Much continued success in everything that you do. I want to thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Thank you, and God bless. All right. All right, that's my time. You guys know me. I'm Real Chicks Rock. I am everywhere. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Go check out the website, realchicksrock.com. You need to cop one of those T-shirts. We were talking about T-shirts today. You need a Real Chicks Rock T-shirt on your back. The weather is changing. You're gonna look good in it. Yo, when you get the T-shirt, take a picture, tag me. Real Chicks Rock, so I know, so then we can repurpose that picture and let everybody know how good you look in the brand. Thank you so much. And for those that are listening, Frankie Crocker was my idol growing up in New York City, and I always want to close out the show with what he said when he closed out his. May you live to be 100, and I live to be 100 minus a day, so I never know that beautiful people like yourself had passed away. Until next time, take care, God bless, and rock on.